The universe is always testing us. It tests our resolve, it tests our ingenuity, it tests our patience. On a Tuesday evening in South Texas, humanity was, well, ready to be tested once more. The air at Boca Chica Beach crackled with a unique kind of energy. All eyes were turned toward a colossal tower, silver panels gleaming, black thermal tiles contrasting, standing nearly 400 feet tall against the twilight sky. Not just another launch, Flight 10. To understand the triumph of Flight 10, we must first look back at the shadows from which it emerged. The path to the stars is paved with failure. The year 2025 had been particularly challenging. Flight 7, Flight 8, Flight 9, each had ended in fiery spectacle. Each failure, though heartbreaking, was a lesson. Each explosion was a data point. Was it engines? Structural weakness? Software? They analyzed everything. An additional prototype had even exploded on its test stand in June, a stark reminder. 2 long days of waiting. Patience is a virtue in the cosmos. The ghosts of the past were not there to haunt the mission, but to guide it. So what is this magnificent machine? Starship is not just a rocket, it is a vision rendered in stainless steel. It is a fully reusable 2-stage super heavy lift launch vehicle. The bottom is the super heavy booster. Its job? Push the second stage out of the thickest part of atmosphere. The top is the Starship spacecraft, designed to journey through the vacuum of space. The engines roar to life. Chemistry and physics collide in a brilliant display of power. An immense plume erupts and the 400-foot stack climbs into the Texas sky. Then the critical moment, stage separation. The Starship ignites its own engines and continues the journey. This drama unfolded from the SpaceX facility near Boca Chica Beach, a private starbase carved from the Texas coastline. The goal was not to land this flight, but to reach orbit and complete key objectives. Open a payload door and deploy cargo. After the thunderous ascent and the silence of space, the most critical part of the mission began. The live webcast switched to a view from inside Starship's upper stage. The world watched, waiting. Slowly, gracefully, it swung aside, revealing the blackness of space dotted with distant stars. On the ground, a wave of cheers erupted. The webcast captured raw, unfiltered joy. Video showed a metal device many called a giant Pez dispenser. It was loaded not with candy, but 8 dummy satellites. The dispenser whirred to life. With a precise, ratcheting motion, it pushed the first dummy satellite up and out of the door. The object tumbled gently away, a tiny speck against the vast backdrop of space. One by one, the dispenser did its job. All 8 dummy satellites were ejected. Each deployment met with another round of cheers. Why does this one successful test matter so much? Because it's a critical stepping stone on a path that leads to Mars. The successful deployment validated Starship's design and purpose for launching Starlink satellites. Version 3 satellites are too large for Falcon 9. Starship is the only vehicle that can deploy them at scale, potentially at a much lower cost, changing the economics of spaceflight. It could enable construction of massive stations and scientific observatories. It could enable permanent bases on the Moon and Mars. A reusable heavy-lift rocket lowers the barrier to entry for a new generation of entrepreneurs and scientists. Achievements like these transcend engineering. They inspire us and lift our gaze. Watching that giant rocket climb and perform flawlessly connects us to a grander story. Starship Flight 10 was more than a test. It was a beacon of hope.